I'm Amy, sex educator, somatic sex and relationship coach, and sex shop owner.
And I'm April, VP of an international high-end pleasure products company and boss queen sex toy mogul. We're best friends who make our own rules about who we are as sexual beings.
With everything from how to be a badass in the bedroom to top tips for bringing your relationship to the next level, we have something just for you.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Don't forget to head on over to our website at shamelesssex.com for more. And for 15% off of some of our favorite sex toys, use coupon code SHAMELESSPP in all caps at purepleasureshop.com. Hello, everyone.
Hi, people.
Howdy.
Folks.
Howdy, folks.
What's your go-to for a group of people? What do you say? Like, hi, guys, or hey, y'all?
Well, I try not to say guys because not everyone's a guy.
I know, but it's super Midwestern to be like, hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
That's what I used to say. And then I got in trouble when I was serving coffee. I was like, do you guys want some more coffee? And this guy looks at me. He was a guy that he identified with and said, my wife is not a guy.
Correct.
So I stopped after that.
So what do you say now?
Folks.
But
then some people say that sounds old.
you people.
What up, humans?
I like humans.
Okay. Hi, humans.
Hey, humans. How are you all
But
doing?
what if a dog's listening? Or a cat?
We
a
sound like
pussy.
this
What
was-
about a pussy if they're listening?
Well, on that note, everyone, that is our topic for the day. We did our episode on sexual mastery, penis, cocks, dicks. This one is going to be sexual mastery, pussies, yonis, yeses, boxes, vulvas,
yays.
vaginas,
Yeah.
all of the above.
What's my name for my pussy?
No.
No, that's not it. It's a yeah.
Yeah.
What do you call your pussy when you're
Pussy.
like in the? Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I feel like it's so unoriginal though. We should come up with something else.
I was talking to someone about this the other day about, I think they were saying they don't think that there's any good words for, they didn't think there was any good, they don't like the word cock. So they weren't identified with any good words for penises. But they really like yoni for a vulva. And so we were talking about how these words become comfortable for us. Like if you would have asked me, 8 years ago, I don't think I felt as comfortable with the word pussy as I do now. But I've said it a lot.
Well, can I tell you something that happened the other day to me?
Yes, tell me a story.
I was watching my taxi cab porn, the UK one, and the woman on there was like, stick your hand in my cunt. I love it. And I really liked it.
You like that cunt?
Yeah. And I think we should bring back cunt because when I was hooking up with that Scottish guy, he said cunt a lot. He called me a lazy cunt once. And I was like, I want to be offended, but I'm kind of not at the same time. So I kind of think I'm going to use cunt tonight but like in a nice way.
Well, how would you say it?
Why don't you stick your big cock in my dirty little cunt?
She loves the dirty little. That's
my
a good go-to.
Wide and glorious.
Wide and clean?
Notorious.
Yes.
It's glorious.
It's so
cunt.
glorious. So that was our episode that we will be diving into shortly. But before we do, we're going to do one sex question.
Yes. And this one's awesome. And remember, folks, humans, if you want to write us a sex question, feel free. We do answer them. We get to them slowly but surely. And sometimes we answer them just via email, but sometimes we'll read your question on the air. So you can send us an email to shamelesssexpodcast@gmail.com, or you can go to our website, shamelesssex.com, and fill out a questionnaire there. But this is from Sydney, who said we can use her name. So Sydney. The subject is, I think I'm in love with you.
Oh.
And I love that. So, hello, wonderful ladies. My name is Sydney. I'm a 22-year-old female, and I recently discovered your podcast. And I am now quoting you guys on a daily basis, like I'm literally in love with you both. I work in isolators with mice and rats all day, so your podcasts have really saved me. But I'm writing in for a few things. All the things. I was wondering, how on earth do you become a sex educator in New York, not NYC? She doesn't live in New York City. You guys have helped me find another passion. I'm struggling with an eating disorder, so you can imagine I have been very disconnected with my body. I have been in recovery for the last year or so, trying to discover that self-love I never had. While listening to your podcast, I learn more about myself every single day in many different ways. I try to spread your wisdom, but clearly I am no expert, but I think I can be. Next and last question is, Where can I learn more about Tantra sex that you both would recommend? My fiance and I have connected through Tantra and love it. So I'm dying to know what you would recommend for beginners. Thanks again, you lovely women. I love you so much.
Aw,
Sydney. Thank you, Sydney, for the love. And say hi to your little mice.
Hey, little
and
mice.
your little rats.
Your little rat.
And your little rat too.
Okay, so question number 1. Sex educator in New York, not city, but would you say?
She's in New York State.
Oh,
so
state,
she's
state
just
of, yeah.
not in the city.
Okay, so all the trainings I've done have been on this coast, but I know that there are trainings all over. There is
Sex Geek. Isn't the Sex Geek camp in North Carolina?
It's now going to be in Portland.
Oh, got it. Okay.
And that isn't really a training to be a sex educator. It's much more about how to like promote yourself and grow as a sex educator. The training I did is SFSI. It's sfsi.org out here in San Francisco. They do the training twice a year, and I think it's every other weekend for 2 months. So
the ASECT, that's out east.
But ASECT is not, again, that they are the ones that oversee people's various credentials.
Okay.
So you can become ASECT certified when you do various programs and credentials.
Are they online?
I mean, I think you become certified online.
So ASECT is, how do you spell that? Maybe
AASECT. Is that
I think that is right. It stands
but it's still, it wouldn't, that would be a way to maybe find out about more
Right.
programs, but it itself isn't how you become a sex educator. There is Widener, which is a university in Pennsylvania that is one of the few universities that has a human sexuality program. And you can, the way that they do it is they design it for commuters where everything is actually online, and then you only have to go there like twice a semester or something.
And she could probably take the train
down there,
right?
yeah. But it's more of a university program. But I do know some people that have done that program, and they got a lot out of it. So that's another option. And then there's various trainings here and there. Other people, if you can do like the sex and relationship coaching program, like I did at Somatica, and there's other people that do that. I know that there's another one that's much more holistic, and I can't exactly think of the name because then I actually don't really know a lot about it to talk about it. And I think Barbara Corellis, who wrote Urban Tantra, which we're going to talk about at part 3 of this question, I believe I saw that she's doing another training for an Urban Tantra professionals training to essentially teach people how to teach Tantra.
And we've actually had a similar question to this before, and a good suggestion, and in my opinion, how I got into the sex toy industry, and also which in turn turns into giving people information about sexual health and wellness. But you could apply to work at your local sex shop. If there's one in your town and you have the time, it looks like you're working in isolators, but perhaps you have a couple of days a week, and then you can get education through learning about toys, learning about the body, anatomy. I think that's always a good way to get your foot into the door, but it's obviously different than educating people fully and becoming an actual sex educator. But there are tools out there, but you should figure out if you like talking to people about sex in the first place, because it might be very different for you if you're in with your mice and your rats all day. You might want to see if it's something that you like and you're comfortable with. Maybe you are, which is awesome. I think everyone should be.
Should.
Everyone can be.
Can learn to be.
If you want to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about part 2? What's part 2?
Part 2 is about Tantra, and she was saying, she was asking about basically if there's anything that we recommend for a beginner. So
For her and her partner.
where they can learn more about tantric sex. And you gave me a book a while back, which I still haven't read, but I went to that class with
Charles Muir?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that book, is it Urban?
It's
Urban Tantra.
Urban Tantra is Barbara Corellis, and Urban Tantra is one of my favorite books. I didn't give you that though. I gave you Charles Muir's book, which is also a great book. It's Tantra: The Art of Conscious Loving.
I started reading it, but I stopped.
I
need to go back to it just because it's hard for me to remember to carry books with me, but I will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a great book. So Urban Tantra I love because the way Barbara teaches is it's all inclusive of all genders and orientations. She even incorporates some kink into it and talks about the way that kink can actually be very tantric, like this divine oneness with a partner, but often there's more sensation and power play involved. And she talks a lot about sex magic. So that's my favorite. And I actually said before, I think she's doing a training, and sometimes she'll do her occasional workshop because I think she actually is based out of New York. I could be wrong, but I think she actually does. I know that her partner lives in New York, so I'm assuming that she does too. And Charles Muir is out here. He lives up in Boulder Creek out here in Santa Cruz. He's kind of like kind of a famous Westerner guru in the Tantra world. He's in the Tantra world, everyone knows Charles Muir's name, and so he wrote the book The Art of Conscious Loving, and he does Tantra retreats out here, and he might even do some out in New York, actually, because I'm pretty sure he travels all over and does them like every other month in different locations. If you want to learn more about him, go look up sourcetantra.com, and they'll have more information there about his offerings. I personally took his beginner weekend with my partner, and it was a really great foundational practice for us to incorporate Tantra into our life. I know my partner got a lot out of it, and as did I. And there's so many
Barbara does online workshops too, where you can work with her directly.
Did you look her up? What's her website?
Yeah, her barbaracarellis.com, and she does basically on-demand orgasms and with spirit. So you could kind of take one of those courses with your partner, and it's a downloadable series. So that's also a good way to get in touch.
I think those are good ways. Is like you pick up a book, Urban Tantra. We have it at purepleasureshop.com. You can go there and you get 15% off with coupon code shameless. Sex, PP in all caps, or The Art of Conscious Loving. There's a lot of other books, and then like what April said, people have their online videos, and go look up and see who's doing Tantra retreats and do a weekend retreat, and you'll probably get a lot out of it and just get immersed in it. Because I think a book is awesome, but really getting immersed in the practice, because Tantra is so experiential. I also even have a Tantra online work class at Pure Pleasure. I forgot about that.
And we've also done a podcast on Tantra as well.
Yeah.
Just basic Tantra information.
Yeah. So you can listen to more podcasts. If you go to Pure Pleasure's website, you can also find, if you go under online classes, there's a Tantra 101 workshop that I did that you can watch online as well.
And this kind of makes me want to do a Tantra class.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this right now as it just to give Sydney information. And I feel like Are
you ready for some Tantra?
Well, I just want some more education on it, because I've only dove in. I should say just put a foot in. I've never dove into it, but just put a little foot in and I like it.
Yeah.
It's really...
It's powerful because it's about, presence is the key there in Tantra. It's being fully present and using the body's delicious senses to experience awakening here and now. Like, sex is just one of the many vehicles that we can use to experience all of the bliss and nirvana in this lifetime. We don't have to die to do it. And that's what kind of Tantra emphasizes, with a lot of ritual and a lot of other fun stuff too. So good question. We should do another Tantra episode one of these days.
Right. Perhaps we can get Barbara to come on board.
Oh, Barbara.
Barbara, putting it out
there.
there.
She's in high demand.
I know, but we're going to put it out there.
Or we get
Because
Charles.
remember, we can set our intention and we can try to manifest.
Yeah, I want both.
Maybe we'll just run into her at the grocery store when we're in New York.
I would love that.
Me too. And be like, Barbara.
And her partner's awesome. Her partner is one of the leading pioneers for trans folks. They've been out as a trans woman for a long time, and they've wrote a number of really important books. I forgot their name. Oh, Kate Bornstein. I think it's Kate Bornstein.
Nice.
And so, Barbara's phenomenal. Really, really important stuff.
Cool.
Okay, and so because we're talking about pussies, I do want to do one more little shout out that we did before when we did the episode with Allison Moon on girl sex. We talked about Flex Fits, which are these disposable menstrual cups that April and I are huge fans of.
They really, really work when you want, especially for sex and periods.
Yeah, period sex.
You don't have to take it out. It collects the fluid, and then you can use it for 12 hours. Yep. And I've had now a lot of success. I think 3 cycles now that I've used it. Yeah, 3 cycles.
And the partners enjoy it.
And my partner is fine with it. He says like nothing. I was a little nervous because it was on my couch. Thought things were going to leak, but nothing leaked.
Yeah. And it was super comfortable. They're awesome. I had no idea that these kind of things were available. I didn't even know that there was something that was so well designed that could make period sex so clean and easy and enjoyable. And some people don't mind blood. Like, I'm not shaming the blood there.
No,
if you're fine with it,
it's natural lubricant.
It's true.
Which it just, for me, I personally don't like the cleanup.
Yeah.
Of like when it looks like I murdered my partner's penis.
Yeah.
Crime scene. Like, okay, which has happened before, and I'm like, oh man,
maybe.
But I don't mind. That's the only part where I'm like,
yeah.
But
they're really easy to use and they're really comfortable, and it's a woman-owned company, so
and sometimes you don't want to limit yourself because like, oh, I have my period, I guess I can't go out, because what if maybe not even penis and vagina sex, maybe just oral sex too. You can still have oral sex with it on.
Yeah, we're not saying it's just for penises and vagina.
No,
the duo.
Anybody that wants to have sex, and you can actually try it pretty risk-free right now if you go to our website. It's not a large investment if you want to just check out. I think you get is it a 15?
It's $3 off your first box, which is in your first box, I think, has 3 cycles worth in it.
3 cycles, yeah. That's 3 months worth.
So you go to our website, there's a little picture on it. You click on the FlexFit's picture, it takes you to their website. Or if you go to FlexFit's website and use coupon code SHAMELESS in all caps, then you get that $3 off.
I would recommend just checking out a box. It's $15 that is well spent.
Yeah.
And then you can
change our lives.
Yeah. And believe me, like I've been out before and only had a tampon, and I was bummed because I forgot my FlexFit at home. But they're just little. They come in their own individual package, little black, little packaging. They're really easy to transport, and they're thin, and I really like it. I definitely wish they were available in stores because I only had like a few. I'm gonna have to order some more.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, they're newer, and then I mean, there's those things that are called the soft cups. I think that are also potentially in stores. But from what I heard, I think FlexFit just is more efficient. Like it's better design.
I haven't tried the soft cups yet. I did see them though at CVS. Now that you mention it, when I was buying tampons the other day.
Yeah, I love how you call them tampons.
Well, they're like harpooning your vagina. A man invented tampons, by the way.
Are we trying to get you off the tampon train?
I'm trying to get off the tampon train, but I ran out of FlexFits.
And you won't
because
use
the cups won't fit in my vaginal canals.
It's not her fault. It's her fault that she has a wide set vagina.
No, it's not a wide set vagina. It's actually quite shallow, so the cups don't fit in properly, and I have a tilted uterus.
And they go backwards, and then she has to go get it taken out by her sister.
And then with a toothbrush. I got some toothbrush and a stick of gum.
You know, like Chris Ryan's video of tangentially speaking of him with a pencil with a cat.
I love it so much.
We should have someone do animated video of you with a cup stuck in your pussy, and then someone having to fish it out with a toothbrush.
Okay, I'm down with that. And then can we add that jingle to it? Shameless sex.
Yeah, we only got one jingle. Where's all the jingles?
I know. Come on, make some jingles. We put the jingle on the air too. It was really good
with the porn noises.
I know.
All right, pussies. Are we ready for pussies?
I'm so ready for pussies, and I want to start with outing some shame.
Tell me your shame, you pussy.
Last night, it all happened.
What? Tell me.
So
it was a dark, stormy night.
I was making dinner and I was drinking wine, of course. Margins wine, that is, which was great. But I was drinking some wine and then made dinner, and I was horny all day. And so my partner got back to my house and I'm making dinner, and I was like all day, like kind of teasing, like, super horny, just wanted like to jump your bones, kind of doing that. So, well, we went to bed, things started happening, and pussy would not get to wet all. And I was like getting in my head about it because my pussy wasn't getting wet, and he was kind of like, what's going on? I thought you were super excited. And I was like, I was all day, but I think it had to be the combination of the wine mixed with, like, I might have had a bit of a painkiller.
She's got a lower back problem right now.
A lower back problem. So
you numbed your pussy out.
Pretty sure. And I started getting in my head about it, and then it just did not cooperate. And I didn't come. He didn't come. We just gave up after about 20 minutes.
Waving the white flag.
Yeah, because it was like getting late too. So and then this morning I woke up and I told him, I said, look, we both need to get out of our heads, because I got in my head so much last night about my pussy not cooperating, and I was horny. I was super turned on. I wanted to come. I literally couldn't. I even busted out my toy. Nothing. It was like,
numb. Your pussy's numb. Yeah.
It was numbed out. And so I couldn't, I don't know. So I got really sad, and then I realized that I can't be so hard on myself, because
you're not broken. Your pussy's not broken.
No. And it's not broken, but I am a firm believer. Like, people are always like, what's your secret? You look so young. And I'm like, dude, orgasm a day.
Keeps the doctor away.
Keeps the doctor away. So I didn't have an orgasm yesterday, so I woke up pretty sexually frustrated, and I was shaming my pussy, and then I was like, fuck this, my pussy's perfect.
Your pussy is
My
perfect.
cunt is perfect.
You have the perfect cunt.
My cunt is beautiful.
It's beautiful. And on that note, okay, so let's talk about, there's a couple of points there. One, the wine. Love me some wine.
Oh,
Depending on your body weight, 1 to 2 glasses actually can up your sexual game because you lose your inhibitions a little bit. You get a little juicy. But after that, it's all downhill. Start to numb out. The penises don't act the way that they might want to act, in terms of erections. Body fluids don't function the way we want our body. We have less saliva, less fluids.
Yeah.
Because it dehydrates us.
Right.
And then add in something like a painkiller for some lower back pain. Well, if it's numbing your lower back, it's going to numb your pussy too. It's just kind of all part of it.
Yeah. That's totally what happened because I felt like I was losing all of my sensations.
Yeah.
Like that that are triggered by the stuff that turns me on. And so then I got into my head about why it wasn't working, and it was it was a downward spiral.
Well, and so in regards to sexual mastery here, I think this is a good lead into the idea of arousal non-concordance, and we may have talked about this in past episodes. But I really love this book called Come As You Are. Have you read it yet, Chip? It's so good. You have a good audio. You can do an audiobook. It's so good.
Oh, I have seen that book.
It's really
but I have
good.
not read it.
So good.
Come As You Are.
And so there's kind of two, there's two different kind of, like, can you have two premises? But there's like two kind of main foundational pieces. But one of them is that we live in a penis-centric model for pleasure in our culture and in a lot of the world, actually. And so what we say that penis is like, or think that penis is like, we decide that pussy is like the same thing. And that's what porn depicts. And they show a lot of fast and hard. And I'll even take that a little further to say that penises actually think that they only like fast and hard often because that's what they've seen in porn or only what they've experienced. But then when they experience slow and soft, and they can feel more. There's more sensation. There's more energy. There's more touch, more closeness. But that's not what porn shows. And so
it's also very animalistic to go really fast.
Yeah, like
if you watch dogs mating, they're like,
turtles, real slow.
Turtles are slow.
There's a good turtle humping video online that my old housemate used to show me. That was hilarious.
I talked about getting humped by a turtle in the last podcast.
Oh, a sea turtle.
Yeah. Oh no, it didn't come out yet. That podcast.
Oh, well, tune in next week.
Yeah, teaser.
So anyways, so that's one part of that book. But the book also, Come As You Are, it's phenomenal. It also talks about arousal non-concordance. And arousal non-concordance is when our arousal state doesn't match our body's symptoms. So say I'm super aroused, but I'm not wet. Or say I'm wet, but I'm also not aroused at all.
That's happened too to me before.
You're wet for no reason.
And I'm
like, I'm not horny right now. I'm just wet.
Right.
And so we have this idea that arousal has to have these specific symptoms. And if we don't have it, then someone must not be aroused, or vice versa. And body fluid, especially vaginal lubrication, can be, or even erections, it can be big misconceptions in that department. So sometimes for me, like, I have a blocked gland, so my pussy actually never gets super wet because one side of my Bartholin's gland just isn't really functioning, and because I used to get cysts on it, and so when I'm aroused, I'll still get some wetness, but I'm not like dripping wet. Right. And my partner's very aware of that, and that's why I have Uberlib with me all the time. And so this is common for people, and it depends on hormones, it depends on stress, it depends on how present you are in your body, it depends on how much wine you've had. You can be super aroused and not be wet. And if you experience that for yourself, don't shame yourself. If you experience that with another person, please don't shame them. Now, sometimes, yes, wetness can be an important part of arousal, and if that is the case, then yeah, sometimes some people, if they're not having any wetness, or if they're especially with a vulva, if the labia aren't like super puffy and engorged, yeah, maybe they need more warm up and to get to more arousal. Like maybe they're not aroused enough. But yeah, what you experience, April, is not in any case anything worthy of shaming yourself. You're not broken. It's just that didn't coincide with arousal.
I think that also my partner picks up on when I don't get a lot of wetness. So lube is the answer, but we weren't in a position. We didn't have access to lube, or I was downstairs and then we went upstairs, and I didn't even think about it. Actually, I'm almost out of Uber lube, by the way.
I'll give you a bottle.
I was like,
Uber lube.
Uber lube to the rescue.
Best lube ever. So yeah, arousal non-concordance is an important thing. And on that note, same thing with erections. Like penis owners wake up with erections for no reason. They're not necessarily aroused. It's just what the body's doing. They get them in the middle of the night multiple times. It doesn't mean that they're having sex dreams.
And then age shifts. Yeah. And we've talked about it before. Different things happen. Different pharmaceutical drugs happen. Different... all sorts of, your day is weird and your body's not cooperating with your mind.
I think the example that Charlie Glickman gives was when you're out in nature, like say you're super stressed out or you're in fight or flight mode, there's like something really heavy going on, you're in fight or flight mode. It's not the time to get wet or have an erection, right? Like you're out in nature, like think of cave human days, and you're in nature and a big bear comes and you're like terrified. It's probably not a time to get a boner and get a wet pussy.
Yeah, no.
Although, interesting note, I remember Dr. Chris Ryan, who wrote Sex at Dawn, he said, it's kind of a tangent, but not. He said, I was talking about how I was a kid. I used to have rape fantasies. I was really turned on. I've never been raped, but I used to be really aroused by it. And I still am or can. Not by me wanting it. It's like seeing images of it in movies and things. And he said that I think he actually read a study or some studies about how it's actually common for female body folks to actually get wet when they see images of rape. It doesn't necessarily mean they're aroused. It's actually not common. Not everyone gets aroused by rape fantasies, but that the body actually produces some natural fluid when they see that image. And the theory, the evolutionary theory would be that fluid is being produced to protect themselves in case they actually did get raped.
That makes sense.
And I don't know. I don't have the studies to quote from this. It's just what he said when I went on his podcast, but here's an example of how arousal and wetness don't always go hand
I like
in
a
hand.
good gangbang scene, but usually she has to be consent. It has to be consensual. Like it's not like them going in, but like her.
So it's not really rape. It's her being like, I want this.
Right. Gangbang. Yeah. Like I'm here for the gangbang.
Oh God.
I say that a lot when I show up at people's houses and they love it. I'm like, hey, I'm here for the gangbang.
You're that girl. What's in your hand? You just held a bottle of wine, huh?
No, yeah, but I held the bottle of wine, but
bag of condoms.
It's from the movie Old School where he has the condoms.
Yeah.
But I'm here for the gangbang. So yeah, invite me over. I'll come for the gangbang.
Yeah.
Wait. No. That's not, just a fantasy. I was just listening to I'm almost done for the second time, the Mating in Captivity.
Oh, yeah.
Audible book. And she talks about how fantasy and reality, like people get very shameful about their fantasies, but there's something that they're sexualized and they are totally different than saying, I dream to have a big house. It's like, I don't dream about getting gangbanged, but it's a fantasy because it's so unrealistic and it's fun to think about those kinds of things. Yeah.
And sometimes we want fantasies to happen and sometimes we don't. And it can go either way. And they're really good material to turn ourselves on or keep us aroused. And that's good to have in Spank Bank.
But it totally is. And women tend to have, from what Esther Perel says, a more difficult time tuning into their fantasies because they tend to interrelate them to actual wants or needs or things in life. So for those folks out there listening,
get creative.
I'm one of them. I never could, with my ex-husband, he would always ask me to tell him my fantasies, and I would never do it.
Did you have them and you were just shamed?
Yeah, I had them since I was a kid. I've had a multitude of fantasies, like the gangbang, for instance.
Your classic gangbang.
The classic gangbang. The two girls.
One cup?
No. Never talk about that ever again.
I've never seen it, but I have no intention of watching it.
No, please. And please just let's edit that part out. It's terrible.
She doesn't like it.
So, no, but.
So, okay, my question is it hard for you to share? Okay, because I'm thinking of a couple things. Is it scary for you to share your fantasies because he wanted you to do it in this role play where you're on the spot and it's like talk your fantasies out loud dirty to me? Because that can be a lot of pressure. Or was it just sharing the vulnerability of these inner...
It was mostly...
the former? The latter?
The former.
Okay, so the role playing... Yeah, and that's hard for a lot of people.
It was
now
super
you're
hard
really
for me.
good at dirty talk.
Now I am, but...
She's a dirty little slut, everyone.
I totally tapped into it because I realized that it doesn't define me and people won't judge me. And I think that's something that coming into my shamelessness, coming into my life as I am in the last couple of years, realizing that those things, that's not who I am. Those are things that I think about. But they're arousing and they're fun to talk now about, because just like I'm sure you have the rape fantasies and other people have other ideas about what turns them on, I think it's important to just voice them to your partner. It's sexy. It lets them know another part of you. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get in there with my partner and he's like, whatever your fantasies are. I'm like, mm-mm.
He's saying my fantasies are your fantasies?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't work.
I know. I'm like, that doesn't work. How is that possible?
My
fantasy is Chewbacca on a laptop wearing flip-flops. Do you feel that way too?
I was going to try to make a Chewbacca noise, but
I don't know. But Chewbacca's dick, dude. How do you find that thing?
What? Oh, in the fur. All right, we're getting back on topic.
Okay, sorry.
All right, so coming back to topic of sexual mastery pussies, as we was talking about how the book Come As You Are talks about how we live in a penis-centric model for pleasure. With that said, I want to talk about the ways to arouse female bodies, because female-bodied folks, so these are...
It takes a lot more.
And they're the receivers, right? And so the way receiving energy needs a lot of warm-up.
Biologically, we are... the receivers.
The receivers, in terms of, I mean, it's an orifice that can receive. And of course, they can wear a strap on. And, maybe not all vulvas or vaginas want to be penetrated. So I'm not making that assumption. But it does take 4 times as long, approximately, for blood flow to get to the vagina than it does to the penis. So penis is hard and ready to go. Expect 4 times as long to get the vulva aroused. And my suggestion is don't go right for the vulva. The vulva needs all this other warm-up out far, far away from it. And I'm not talking about just nipples and lips. I'm talking about the whole fucking body.
The whole fucking body. And just word to the wise, for like over the years, I had so many partners that would just like go on the vulva super fast. I'd be like, whoa. Just because they saw turning and burning. I know. And I'm like, whoa, go slowly.
And that's not really their fault because they saw them porn. And so that's what.
I never shamed them. I was just like, ow. Because sometimes it would actually hurt.
I've had that happen.
Actually, recently I had to like slow my partner down, and he's well in tune with vulvas. Yeah. And I was like, whoa, let's take it more slowly.
Yeah, some people get caught up in the moment. But I mean, I honestly, so my partner right now, we're doing this thing where when, for the most part, not all the time, but when we're coming together to be sexually intimate, he's actually touching all over my whole body, like grounding my body down and praising my whole body for, many minutes before he goes into the vulva. Then when he goes into the vulva to actually start touching it, I think Allison Moon talked about this on Girl Sex 101, the pussy hug, where you just take your hand, the palm, the flat of your hand, and just rest it over the outside of the vulva. So it's covering the whole thing, all the labia, the clitoris, everything. And you just kind of hug it with your hand and let it rest there for like a minute, like literally a minute, like 60 seconds. So that the body can acclimate to this hand being on this really vulnerable place.
Right.
Because for me, when that doesn't happen, when fingers just start to kind of go places, even in a soft, sensual way, it can feel almost ticklish, or I can get a little squeamish because my body is like, whoa, okay, there's a hand now here in this part of my body. But when I have the hand resting and really warming up and the skin acclimating to my skin, all of a sudden my body is able to really relax and receive. And then when he starts to touch my vulva, and again, this is what's working for me right now, and I know for a number of female body folks who've experienced this, they love this. Like, they fucking love this. They're like, oh my God, this is how I want my pussy touched now. So after the pussy hug, and I think I want to give Midori credit for that, because I think that's what Allison said, that Midori said that.
Right.
Midori is another sex educator. And then he starts to, with his well-lubed fingers, starts to kind of just massage the labia majora. So like the more puffy pussy lips, not the thin ones. Almost like kneading them with his fingers. And I really want to emphasize this, that if it's confusing on how to touch a pussy, or even a penis for that matter, just go approach it like you're going to give this person a massage. Like, when you're going to massage someone's shoulders, what do? You don't go really fast and hard. You don't like overstimulate. You go slow and soft, and you really get in there to relax the muscles, and really just you're in tune with what it feels like as you're massaging the body, and you're warming the body up. And I think we talked about this on another podcast where if you get a professional massage, you lay on the table. The first thing the masseuse does is they put their hands, really warm, oiled hands, rest them on your back. Don't even move them for a second. And then they just start to rock you. And to really regard touching a pussy in that way. Like preparing it, warming it up, letting the skin acclimate, massaging it to really relax it and praise it and heal it.
Get the blood flowing there as well.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Have you experienced that before? How they like where someone's touching almost as if it's like a pussy massage?
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's so
I
good.
also love, and I've talked about this before, to warm up the pussy like a dry hump with clothes on.
I love a good dry hump.
I haven't actually done it in a while or ever with my partner now.
You guys should just dry hump tonight.
I actually want to suggest that because we haven't done that yet. And you were just talking about the slow and sensual, and I was like, whoa, I miss the dry hump. Like I haven't done it in a while, and I never used to always do it or something, but there's something so arousing and fun about being with your clothes and like rubbing each other's bodies without actually touching them, just rubbing each other's bodies on each other's bodies.
Yeah, I know a lot of vulva owners who are in long-term relationships, and they say that's one of the things they miss the most is making out and dry humping.
That is something that happens a lot in long-term relationships. The making out goes bye-bye.
Yeah, they're like, we make out a little bit when we have sex, but otherwise that's it.
Foreplay is something also biological that vulva owners, it's necessary.
Well, it's part of the warm up and arousal process. Like people just assume once we started having sex that stuff doesn't need to be there often, but that's a lot of vulva owners almost like some of the best parts. And they need it. Not only do they need it, it's also like it's amazing.
And kissing with tongue is so hot.
What do you mean? Like where?
Kissing with like French
just on
kissing.
The lips. Oh yeah.
Like just kissing, it's like it's hot, like it's arousing and stimulating for me.
I haven't heard the term French kissing in a long time.
I know, that's why I was like, I was kissing with tongue, and you're like, what do you mean? I was like, French kissing. What do you want me to say? What else is it called?
Oh, oui, oui.
Is that derogatory, French kissing?
I mean, it's kind of a compliment to the French.
I know, but
is a French fry derogatory? Is French toast derogatory? Maybe. I'm not sure.
TX is toast.
TX is toast. I think we're giving the French a lot of credit for some good things.
Yeah, we are. Well, there's some things to be said about the French and what they do.
Oui, oui.
Mais oui.
Oui, oui.
So that's good information, I think, for folks that haven't done the slow and steady and the cupping,
pussy hug.
The pussy hug. I think
a massage. Try this. Try massaging. Like try regarding the pussy as if it's someone's shoulders that are aching and need to be healed and loved, and touch them in that way and kind of play around with that. And then you can go into more stimulating touch. But honestly, if you approach a pussy in that regard, like I'm just here to give you some really pleasurable healing touch for like 5 or 10 minutes, and then now I'm going to start maybe inserting a finger in you and playing around with the labia and the G-spot, or maybe a dildo or a penis or whatever. Then add that stuff later. But by that point, you've relaxed the body so much. When the body is relaxed and receptive, so much more can happen. So much more juiciness and more trust and more.
And if you are the vulva owner on the receiving end, it's good to tap into the feeling. Like close your eyes and really feel the feelings.
What do you think, April? Are you more of eyes open or eyes closed?
I'm an eyes closed person. Otherwise, when my eyes are open, I used to be totally always wanting to have my eyes open, but I realized I connect my eyes being open all the time in a sexual experience with me not having an orgasm, because every time, because I'm always focused on what the other person's doing, what they're looking at,
it's distracting,
what their facial expressions are doing. So I've really lately, I'll open them once in a while just to like kind of look at my partner, but
you're also a pleaser too. So
I'm a super pleaser, and I'm with a pleaser. So it's pleasing a pleaser.
You guys both need to just have your eyes closed the whole time.
That's what I told it. I totally said that. I said, look, I think it was yesterday.
You guys had a lot of talks yesterday.
We did, but I said, like, we both are like sexually very similar, because over the years, like, I think that I'm just used to pleasing. Like, I get off when I get my partner off, and he's the same. So I'm like, this is like a draw. We're at a fucking draw. I'm like, this can't happen. So it's like, did you come yet? No. Did you? No. Damn it.
We both failed.
Which
is not true.
And I'm like, it's not about the journey.
No, it is about the journey.
I'm sorry, but not about the destination. It's about the journey.
Yes.
But that being said, I've been really into closing my eyes and checking in and actually feeling the feelings and thinking on the dirty thoughts that help me orgasm.
Yeah.
Like thinking about, I always have to be like, this is bad. I'm not supposed to be doing this. That always gets me off.
Yeah.
When I'm like, this is
and
so
when
bad.
you say you have your eyes closed, you still open them sometimes, but you go close them when you need to go within, and then you open them here and there, right? Yeah.
Yes, but
I don't think like if you just completely disappeared, never made eye contact, it might feel a little detached.
Well, I just actually, it's true because I think eyes open. My friend that just had a baby hadn't had sex with her husband in 3 months, and she said they finally had sex, and she was so in her head and kept her eyes open the whole time, thinking that her pussy was like going to explode because she didn't know what would happen after a baby came out of there.
Yeah, of course.
So she said, I was so in my head I couldn't orgasm or anything, and obviously her husband thought it felt the same as what she said. It felt the same.
He's just really excited.
I think he's just excited to have sex. But I told her, I'm like, next time, close your eyes and just really get into your body and be within the emotion. You don't even have to look at him and connect. Just be within yourself and connect to yourself. And I haven't followed up with her if she's banged it out since then.
Banged it out.
But
don't bang out that post-childbirth pussy.
Yeah, get it.
Go slow and soft.
Yeah.
Well, and on that note, some other things that we've talked about in past podcasts, but in terms of the getting rid of that pressure, because like you've been talking about, April, when we're in our heads, it's so hard to receive pleasure, and it's hard to give pleasure too. So we need to get out of our heads and focus on the sensations in our body or our breath.
And both of us are heady women. We're heady as fuck. Like I am. Yeah,
me too. Sure. And so but I'm also good at getting in my body, but I naturally move from my head a lot, and so I have to practice on operating from my body. And so one of these things when we're in our head, a lot of times, so if someone's pleasuring me, I'm in my head, am I going to come? Am I taking too long? What do I look like? What do I smell like?
Those things like that could be recorded and you could go over them. Like, I wonder if I think about so many weird shit. Like, did I forget to shave my labia? I think about weird shit like that. I'm like, I wonder did I wipe well my butthole when I think about shit like that. And I hate it.
We put like an EKG or whatever it's called up to.
No, I don't. I don't think I want to know, but I do. That's the stuff. Like, I'm so heady that I'm like, no. I'm like, I like this. This feels good, and then I start to go there.
Yeah,
I punish myself a little bit, and then I go back to it.
And just you're going on the sensations.
Yeah,
really powerful tool. And for the person that's giving, so say you're pleasing the pussy. We've said this on past podcasts, but to help people get away from their insecurities or out of their head about their own performance, the look of their bodies, saying things like, I could do this all day. Love that line. Love having a face on my pussy saying, I could do this all day. I love eating your pussy. I love the taste of your pussy. I love that line too. Your pussy tastes so good, because there's so many women have things, or all people about their body fluids not tasting or smelling good, especially vulvas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
P.S. I don't have actual proof of this, but I want to tell people out there what I've been doing lately. I haven't had one BV episode, and I've had lots of cum loads up in here. I have been doing, and with my partner, I have been, I won't say make him, because he's obviously, it's consensual, but
he's handcuffed, forced.
No force feeding. So every morning I've been doing apple cider vinegar shots. And
is it the raw, organic, unfiltered?
From Trader Joe's. It's like really.
No, then it's not. They don't have that.
It's unfiltered raw. It's from Trader Joe's. I don't know.
I don't think Trader Joe has raw, but that's okay. But anyways, you're using apple cider vinegar.
It's organic, but it's been working. So, and I don't know, not just me. I feel like both partners need to partake. I don't have more information about it, but I was using literally like pharmaceutical that Metro gel stuff forever to get rid of the BV, and now the alkaline has totally made my pussy, my cum smells great. Like, it's like, I think the alkaline, because it's basically neutralizing the acids and the bases within your system, and it's worked. So if anybody out there, and it's natural, and it also is really great for it has a ton of other health benefits. But I would suggest, if folks out there have anything happening with body fluids, maybe not being up to like what you want them to be, then try this, because it tastes like shit, but I mix it with kombucha.
Oh, you drink it? You don't put it in there?
No, I drink it every day. I've just been drinking it every day.
I'm just envisioning you putting it right.
No.
Like, okay.
I make him a shot of it. So I do a little mixer. I do a collagen. Mm-hmm. This is like my new thing. So if anybody out there wants, it's like I believe. Sorry, I said like 5 times. I didn't mean to, but
I didn't hear it.
I've been doing a collagen scoop, alkaline apple cider vinegar, and kombucha as a shot in the morning. And I have had zero every day for him too. And I've had zero issues with any sort of weird smells in my genitals, which is super cool for me. Even if I haven't showered in 2 days and I go to the gym a lot, which I shower like mostly every day, but sometimes.
Some days you will take shower.
Some days I take shower sometimes.
No.
So I don't know if anybody out there, I just wanted to share that because I think it is important.
Well, on that
some
note,
level.
I mean, I think that's a good point about the diversity of pussies and the smells. That I mean, these are bodies. This is all a mucous membrane. They have scents. There's a scent there. So if you're trying to get it squeaky clean to have absolutely no scent, that is probably not good for your body because that part of your body is self-cleaning. If someone's perhaps is really sweaty, maybe it's not the time to put your face in their box, or you can suggest you to take a mutual shower.
Or test it out. Put your face in there.
Try it out and then be like, oh,
check
yeah,
it out.
maybe we should take a shower together. But don't shame them. Oh, God, you smell disgusting.
Lick an armpit or two. Who cares?
Yeah, why not?
I licked my partner's armpit.
Did it smell bad?
No.
Well, then that's different.
No, but he was all sweaty. And I was like, I'm going to do
people-
this for sake of, like, we are animals.
And I actually was talking to a group. I did a pleasure party. I was talking to a group of younger women in their early 20s, and they were asking what normal pussy smells are and are not. And so normal is us having a scent is normal, but something to be concerned about is when things smell fishy, garlicky,
off.
like grapefruit or like Parmesan cheese,
citrus.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then
That's
that means there's an alkaline or
also
acidity issue.
Regular discharge. If you have a regular discharge, sometimes you will have discharge, but if it's all the time, if it's chunky, if it's creamy,
or
you
if
have
it's itchy,
like you have to monitor those types of things because that could also be an infection of some kind, whether it's yeast or bacterial. Those are things to check out for sure. But I'm telling you, I don't have any proof behind the science, but I'm going to say from my own experience for the last month and a half, I've been doing this. And I was having a chronic BV thing, and I was trying every home remedy possible. And the drinking of the apple cider vinegar has been quite helpful. In my opinion, it's alleviated the problem.
Awesome. I'll start drinking some.
Check it out. See if it doesn't work for you.
My pussy smells pretty
There's
good
nothing
right
that you
now.
have to lose because you have other benefits from the apple cider
It's
vinegar.
good for your joints.
It's really good for your joints. Look at the benefits. If you Google it, you'll be shocked. I mean, it's endless. So anyway, your pussy does have a smell for sure.
Yes.
Mine has a smell, but it's like not unpleasant.
Yeah.
I feel like if you feel
Sometimes I love the smell of my pussy. I'm
Me
like, my
too.
pussy smells good right now.
sometimes it smells a little like armpit, and I'm like, wait,
This is reversed.
sweaty pussy.
Oh yeah, we should end with that song. Okay, back to sexual mastery. I want to talk about how to master your orgasms and enhance your orgasmic process and experiences. And one we've kind of talked about already here is being presence is really important too. So to be present for your arousal, and part of that can also be using some visualization. So visualizing or really feeling that part of your body that is feeling the pleasure. What does it look like? You know, how engorged is it? Is it throbbing? Envisioning the touch that you either are fantasizing about or that is happening. But using visualization and really being present for the feeling can be an important, opening step to being present for more pleasure. Number 2 is breath. Noticing how you breathe. April, how do you breathe when you're having an orgasm?
I do a lot of
that's sound too. Sound is good. Yeah.
But breathing wise,
that was good. That was high.
Oh yeah.
Me a little turned on. I was just asking about breath, but we got the full.
I try to breathe
Is
into
it
my
fast?
pelvic floor a lot, and I
You're
try
fast or slow.
I do everything fast.
Deep
Come
breath?
on, you know me.
That's true.
I'm like a really quick person. It's hard for me to be like, instant
down.
gratification, people. Come on.
Slow down.
But yes, I breathe fast.
Okay, so breath.
Quickly.
We can. Breath is a really important tool. We're all breathing, otherwise we would die. But when breath also plays a role in our arousal. So say I want to get super aroused, I can breathe really fast, and I can really, and maybe in through the nose now. That is better. The other one was more panting. In through the nose, out through the mouth really fast.
And that's how you also, that's how you typically get the most effective breath work in, almost where it's a collective calming when you're working out really hard. You breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth.
But not fast.
Not
go
fast.
slow.
You go slow, but it's hard to do.
All the breath for the type of thing I'm talking about is going to be in through the nose and out through the mouth.
Okay.
But that one, the fast breathing, this fast kind of rapid breathing, can actually create arousal in your body because it moves energy. It's you get really warm when you do it. It kind of churns energy in your body and can almost trick you into arousal when you're not there yet.
Breathe into your pelvic floor as well?
That's it. That's the next step. So not that one. So that one's just the fast breathing. Now, some people do this breath right before orgasm when they don't want to come. So a lot of like penis owners who are like, I come too quickly, I don't want to. I ask them, how are you breathing? And if they're breathing really fast because they're so excited, that can make them come quickly. So you can use this to create more arousal or to slow down arousal. Now, if you want to relax the body, so this works two ways. One is you're getting too aroused and you want to relax the body, or you have some arousal, but you want to move that arousal all throughout your body, have a more powerful arousal. That's when we're doing through the nose and out the mouth, but deep, slow breaths when you're actually using the pelvic floor too.
That's what I always attempt to do. Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's what it moves energy. And what you can think of as you say you're starting to get aroused and someone's touching your pussy and you're getting some arousal there. You're like, oh, I'm kind of feeling my pussy. It's feeling good. You start incorporating that breath. And then maybe even on the inhale, clenching the pelvic floor. Mm-hmm. And then releasing the pelvic floor as you exhale through the mouth. And then
do you clench your pelvic floor while they're inside of you?
You can, but I'm not talking about this just being with someone inside of you. I'm just talking about the breath in general. Don't interrupt me anymore. I'm trying to describe the breath. And then shut down. And then the next step. So we did breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, deep, slow breaths. Then we're tightening the pelvic floor with the inhale and then releasing with the exhale. Next level would be, as you do that, to do that same thing, but imagine you're pulling energy from your pelvis up through your body while tightening the pelvic floor and inhaling in all the way to the top of the head, and then exhale, release through the mouth, and then releasing the pelvic floor, and that same energy goes back through you. And you keep doing that breath over and over again. And you don't have to do the visualization thing. And yes, you can do it with a penis inside of you or a dildo or not. And you can even do this on your own to get yourself feeling more aroused. It's kind of like a tantric circular breath that really helps to move energy. Oh. And you can use that same thing to slow things down. So for penis owners, say you're getting super aroused. I'm really excited. I don't want to come. And for those people, same thing. There's so much energy in their pelvic floor. So doing that exact same process, tightening the pelvic floor, inhaling in, and imagine you're pulling the energy out of your genitals in through your body. That can also help to move the energy out of there so you don't come as soon or as quickly. And now you'll feel more pleasure in your whole body because you moved it out from the genitals everywhere. So breath can be really another really powerful tool.
We've talked about that a lot, how breath work is the key to everything.
And sound, like your sound, what's your O sound again?
I don't know now what it was.
No, she's on the spot.
but
that's important too.
It is. I love the clenching of the pelvic floor while
you have a penis in you.
Yes.
Yeah.
While
and they can feel it too, though.
But also fingers too.
Yeah.
But in general, I remember reading that when I was 15 in Cosmo, and I
really,
and I was like, "What does that mean?" That's why I thought you were talking about breath work with the pelvic floor. While that's why I thought that would be a good addition, though, to breathe into it.
Yeah,
while there's whatever's inside of you, and clench around it. That could be, it's highly effective.
Totally. Well, when you tighten the pelvic floor, I mean, it brings blood to that area. It moves energy. You're essentially gripping around and pulling up on whatever is happening in there. There's not something inside of you, and moving, and then you can pull it up through your body with the inhale.
Yeah, it's
so super powerful.
White
and then
noise.
You add the sound to it, and I think we've talked about this in past podcasts. We have the vagus nerve, which is the longest nerve system in our body. It goes from our throat to our pelvic floor. And so when we make a sound, it vibrates all through our entire body. And I actually, the other day, I was playing with one of my sex toys. My partner was gone. I was home alone. So I
You're back on the sex toys?
I was playing with one of my sex toys. I was playing with a vibrator. It was actually...
you were on a vibrator fast at that.
But it was the Satisfier. It's kind of like the womanizer.
Oh.
I was playing with one of those.
Oh, yeah.
And I decided it was going to be super, like, as loud as possible.
They gave us those toys.
I like it. I actually enjoyed it. It makes a weird noise. It sounds like
a frog, like
or like a didgeridoo.
Yeah. Oh, that's better. I think of a frog.
But when it's on your body, it suctions. It's quiet. But I decided I was going to be super loud, like as loud as possible. And through that, I had like a really epically powerful orgasm because I was just like wailing like at the top of my lungs. Like my neighbors can probably hear me, and my house is not connected to another house. But I think that that's another really powerful thing. If you want to enhance your orgasm game, try making noise and not just like like try being really fucking loud if you can. And if you can't at your house,
I'm
go
noisy.
get away. Good, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever heard you. Oh yes, I have. Ex-husband heard you having sex.
I've never heard you having sex.
Well, we can change that.
Coming over this weekend. I'm sleeping in the downstairs.
Come on, you want to hear me? And we also talked about kegels, which was another important thing. So
you were,
we talked about that we talked about that piece for enhancing your orgasm,
clenching around that
whatever
device,
you have,
whatever's
going
inside.
on. And so these are the steps that they talk about in books like The Multi-Orgasmic Man, The Multi-Orgasmic Woman.
What about a fist in the bush? What's that?
A fist in the bush is a fisting book.
Oh.
We're not talking about fisting. That's another podcast.
Okay.
I mean, we will. There's nothing wrong with fisting.
We should definitely talk about fisting.
Have you ever been fisted?
Yes.
You get a whole fist? Like this whole thing?
Yeah.
Whose fist? We can't talk about names. Oh, wow. I mean, I know that's doable. I just can't. You haven't even swallowed cum, but you've had a fist in your pussy.
Maybe I've only had 3 fingers.
Okay, that's not a fist. The fist. I mean, the hard part.
You don't know the size of the fingers.
I know, but the hard part is the hand. The hand is the crazy part. Look how wide that thing is.
All right, I know. I helped birth a cow once. Kind of reminds me of that.
Oh God! Oh, that sounds terrible.
From Wisconsin.
I mean, the birthing the cow part, not fisting. I actually, at one point when I did my sex,
have you been fisted? You never?
No, but I had this deep interest in it a while ago when I did my sex educator training and came out of it just like really wanted to experience fisting. I think I told my partner at the time, and he was like, "That's weird." and I think I was into it for a little bit. I never tried it, but I've seen live demos of fisting, and I know some people that are into it. But
I've seen live demos as well, video, and I'm like, interesting. But yeah, I guess
I don't know if that's part of our sexual mastery thing.
No, but
that's more like Vulva 5.0.
We had a fisting question, so I think it was just on my mind, but we'll answer that next time.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into it.
So we covered a lot of awesome information. So recapping, want to recap?
Yes. So recap, we said, some important things, arousal non-concordance. So our body's functions and fluids don't necessarily mean arousal. That we live in a penis-centric model for pleasure, and to get away from that and to really honor the way vulvas want to be touched and that they're different from what porn shows. To work with the yin energy, meaning starting from the arousal from the outside in, so the whole body, and then slowly making your way into the pussy. And when you start to touch the pussy, to take your time, go slow, give that pussy hug, and also experiment with some massaging, and then enhancing your orgasm, using a lot of visualization and being present for the touch, working with the breath, that deep, slow inhale through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, and then tightening the pelvic floor and envisioning pulling energy from the pelvic floor up through your body and making a really loud sound when you come.
Yeah. Oh my God. Give it to me now. This is the best. Woo. That didn't sound very authentic.
No, that definitely wasn't.
No. But try it if you're in your car right now listening to this.
Yeah.
Or you're with the mice and the rats. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, mice.
Yeah.
Mouse.
Mice.
All right. That's the end.
Is that the end?
That's the end.
All right. Well, hopefully y'all got some good information about mastering the pussy. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Ciao for now.
Don't forget to head on over to our website at shamelesssex.com for more. And for 15% off of some of our favorite sex toys, use coupon code SHAMELESSPP in all caps at purepleasureshop.com.